You guys, next story up, an update on the Nurse Linton case. The what was it called? The crash in Los Angeles, La Brea and Slauson, the intersection, the woman that blew through there. You guys, this case is going to go through a lot of changes, which I kind of figured that it would, but I knew eventually that her defense was going to come up with something. And so what they are saying now is that this woman had a lapse in consciousness when she flew through that intersection, that she wasn't conscious. Okay. They said that she has a severe case of bipolarism, that she was diagnosed with bipolarism back about 4 or 5 years ago when she started her nursing school. Okay. The paperwork that they have filed said that when she was in nursing school, the stress was really high, that it ended up breaking her. All right. That she would have some, what sounds like psychotic episodes, running around in her apartment complex naked, for the police to come and arrest her jumping on the police car, her having paranoia and feeling like she had been possessed by her grandmother. These are all different occasions, but I'm just telling you what some of them were. Her feeling like that she was possessed with her dead grandmother's spirit, her FaceTiming with her family completely naked, her just feeling like her co-workers were out to get her. I mean, she had all of the classic symptoms, or the classic, what happens when you are suffering from bipolarism. And like I said, it just seems like psychotic episodes. This is a woman who was a nurse, who was responsible for people's lives, on top of the fact that, she's driving and having these type of mental issues. What I can't understand is, why was she still, one, a nurse, okay, and two, why was she still driving? She had, what did they say, about 13 accidents before, and some of them were really serious accidents. It feels like this one slipped through the cracks. Now, I know people are saying that they didn't believe that she wasn't conscious when she went through there. But, when I kind of read the history, and it's documented history, so it's not just hearsay. The police have been out there, arrested her, or, not arrested her, but took her in custody and put her in a facility, and different things. I do believe, maybe it might be a naive part of me, or maybe not, but I don't know what would be her motive to just be blowing through there like that. If she was conscious, she was having a manic episode or something. That's just sort of my opinion. So yeah, I do believe that that's it. But I do also feel like, why is it that she was able to continue her life, her career, the way that she was, and nothing happened, especially being a nurse? One of the rock stars had reached out to me and was like, the story still don't sound right, because those kind of things you have to let your employer know, and nobody noticed that she was acting erratically and that her behavior was off. But I was just like, she's a traveling nurse. Okay. So traveling nurses, I had a few friends that are traveling nurses. They don't be in one spot too long. Like after 6 months or so, they move on to their next assignment. And so she may have been, when she was about to start ramping up these episodes, or, having her manic times, it may be at the time where she was moving from one assignment to the next. So it wasn't ever really any time for any one specific, it may be, and this is still far-fetched, but maybe the people just didn't notice because she wasn't there long enough. I'm just trying to figure out, how is it that she's been able to continue on all this time with all of those things? Like I said, they're documented, things happening, and nothing was done. So again, when we talk about dropping balls and things, like, did this one just slip through the cracks? Did we just not pay attention? Did they just continue to let this girl spiral the way that she was? Maybe because she traveled, her family could never get a good beat on her because, you know, she was never there, you know. But that actual day of the accident, she said that, her sister said that she had FaceTimed her naked. She said that she felt a certain way about her coworkers. She was on her lunch break when she FaceTimed the sister. She went back to work. She was a nurse somewhere. They haven't said where, but she ended up leaving work early. And when she left work early, that was when she ended up getting into that accident. She's saying that she doesn't remember anything anything of the accident. All she remembers is waking up, seeing all the cars and shit on fire, all the devastation and destruction that she had caused. Now, with all of that being said, you guys, do I still believe that she shouldn't be on the hook for what she's done? Absolutely not. You know, mental situations, whatever, it's unfortunate, but I do believe that she still needs to go to jail. I mean, she's in jail. 6 people died, or 5 people plus a baby that was about to be born. So you've killed 6 people, you've injured some people, you know, you've done so much that I cannot turn my head, even if you do have some mental problems. It's still, that's, you know, we're going to put you in a facility where you can't get out, okay? And we can try to help with these mental issues that you had, get you back on your medication, because they said that she stopped taking her medication. And when COVID started, you know, I guess she was feeling like she didn't need to take it. So that's where she's been off. So we'll get you back on track. And then after that, unfortunately, you're going to have to go to jail. Okay? Because we cannot ignore the fact that 6 people have died and it was because of you. All right? And so it's sad because I know a lot of people don't even believe that she was having an episode, but I do. I do believe it. I've had some friends that were that are bipolar, or were, because a couple of them are not even alive any longer. Yeah, I do believe that it can get so bad where the shit is just completely out of whack. And some of you guys may have had some contact with people that suffer from bipolarism. I have to make sure that I don't say that they are bipolar, because some of you in the health field have told me that that's kind of an offensive way, that we shouldn't say that a person is bipolar. We should say that they suffer from bipolarism. So just making sure y'all know that. But yeah, it's just the story is so fucked up and horrible. I do believe that she needs to be in jail. Okay, all that being said, I still believe that. But we're going to keep our eye on this case, because this is not going to be no cut and dry, quick case or anything like that. Okay, they're going to have to get to the bottom of some of these things. And when all that comes out, I'll let you guys know. I'm sorry, Blue. You ain't got to get up, man. I'm sorry. How's my boy? He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Yes, your mush. That's your knees. Okay, let me finish the video, Blue. All right, you guys, and then let's talk about the celebrity kids of Atlanta, shall we? This is actually going to be really fast. First off, Riley Burress is not pregnant. Okay, you guys know that she posted some videos and pictures on her birthday that just recently passed. And in one of the pictures, even I had to do a double take. You know, she was holding her stomach, much in the fashion that people do when they're pregnant. You know, she had her hair, and then she actually looked like she had a pouch, which she could have had a pouch. And so people just assumed, as I even was like, I know this girl ain't pregnant, okay? Because she is around Jada's age, and she is in school. She's got a lot of things going for her. This just would not be the time to be getting pregnant, okay? And then even if she was, I'm not sure if they would announce it that way. You know, it seemed like it would be something way, way different. So I was just like, no, she probably just was you know, that's just what the picture was. Although I was just like, how you post a picture like this and not know that people are going to say you look pregnant there? Because I ain't one of them messy kind of snooping ones that be studying everybody's picture and blowing the shit up and all of that. And even I thought that maybe she looked pregnant on that picture. She came out and, you know, put out a meme, a video, I should say, a couple of days later, and was just like, no, she's not pregnant. Absolutely no way is she pregnant. So y'all ain't got to worry about it. Miss Riley is not pregnant. While we're talking about the Atlanta kids, we can talk about King. Okay, T.I. and Tiny's son, you know, he's been in the news for the wrong reasons lately. You know, he had some sort of run-in with some people at Waffle House not too long ago. Now we just find out that he was recently arrested. He's putting all of these videos. Ain't nobody asked for it. Nobody asked for it, but he's deciding to put these videos on his social media talking about, you know, what he's done. This latest arrest, we don't even know what the fuck he was arrested for. He doesn't seem to know either. He didn't let us know, but he had to let us know that he was arrested and showing the paperwork. And listen, I you know, I'm a parent. You guys know that, all right? And there's really nothing to say. He's going through this stage, it looks like, where he is determined to show you guys that he is of the streets, okay? Thing is, he's not of the streets. He's a rich kid. He's Tiny and T.I.'s kid. He doesn't have to want for anything. He's choosing this path for whatever reason. He wants the attention on social media, you know. Kids have their reasons for doing things. I don't like the intelligent adjacent. You guys know that he is not my favorite person, but I did see a video of him today where he's talking about, you know, he don't really know what to do about King. He says, you know, the path that he's going down, that he's choosing to go down, he gonna end up in jail, you know, and it ain't really nothing he can do. They done raised him the right way, you know, gave him what he needed, whooped his ass when they needed to, punishments, gave him things, took him places, exposed him to, you know, all the finer things, and this is still the path that he's chosen, you know. And I have to agree, like, you know, anybody out there who's a parent, all right, then has more than one child, or even if you just have one child, you know, you can raise I was about to say a motherfucker. You can raise these kids the best way you can, okay? Yes, you may make some mistakes. Yes, you may make some bad choices. Yes, you may have wished you did things a little differently, but you still do your best. Most people do their best, okay? And the kids will still do what they want. I always tell you guys that I have 2 kids and one listens to everything that I say, you know, listens, may still make some choices on their own, but for the most part, I can tell that they listen. And then I have another one that's going to do whatever the fuck they want. Child, you can sit down and you can explain it and they still will do what they want. Okay. And so that is my child that has to learn the hard way. All right. I've told you, I've given you all of the advice on how to avoid certain situations, and you still choose to do it. You know what? It's nothing else I can do about that. I know that I have told you that that is not the best, and then it's going to be up to them to make whatever choice. Now, once the shit happened the way I say it, then they get it. But until you get it, they gonna still do what the fuck they want to do. Okay? And child, I always say, I tell my friends all the time, one of my kids, y'all might know what I'm talking about, but I always tell my friends, like, if I die when I was 85, that I was supposed to live to 87, because this particular child has taken 2 years off my life. I don't know where this kid came from. This kid ain't nothing like me or the daddy, okay? Me and Mr., although the kid may probably lean a little bit more on Mr.'s way, but a child, I just be like, ooh, I just don't understand. Just as headstrong and gonna do whatever the fuck they want to do, okay? And then when the shit all fall apart, you know, it take everything in me not to be like, well, I told you. I'm not a I told you so kind of person. So I just sort of be like, well, okay, we'll just have to do things a little differently next time now, won't we? And then they agree. Okay, so that's probably the same kind of approach that T.I. and Tiny are going to have to take with King, because he seems hell-bent. Like, he is determined to be that person. And it's just sort of like, you're not that person, though. You're not that person, and nobody is taking you as that person. But he's young, so he don't know. And these dumbass kids, bless their heart, we love them and all, but they dumb, child, and it takes some time for them to finally figure it out. So we gonna hope that it's just a stage that they going through. Now, all that I've said about my kid, I do believe that my kid is going to be fine, okay? Because as they get older, even though they still gonna do what the fuck they want to do, I still feel like they listen, but they still just gotta try it another way, So I do feel like they'll be, that person, that my kid will be fine. But yeah, y'all, it's a lot. It's a lot being a parent, and apparently it's a lot being a kid these days too. So the best you can do is pray over these damn kids, and pray for them, pray over them. Pray when they gone, and that's all you can do. That's all you can do. Look, Rocky is trying to get the babies out there. My rock stars that's just getting started with y'all young kids. I'm just trying to put y'all up on game. Nigga, this is not no damn short race. This is a marathon. Like, you gotta just be in it and just be ready. But yeah, it's a lot. And I do feel sorry for Tiny and T.I. Not sorry, but I mean, I know that they stressed the fuck out, and it's always, it's always that one. So hopefully King will get it together. I don't know what else to say about that, but let's move on to the next. All right, you guys, so let's talk about your girl Tabitha Brown and her show. It's complicated. It's supposed to be like complicated, okay? And it was a show that she has on, it is a show that she has on Food Network. You guys know the immense success that Tabitha Brown has had, just kind of starting out as just vlogging on her own social media about a sandwich at Whole Foods, a vegan sandwich at Whole Foods. And from that video, she's blown up to be a household name. She's got a line at Target. She's, been acting. We saw her on The Chi, and we all know the success story, was able to retire her husband. They look very happy. She's doing what she wants to do. She has a huge following. And the Food Network ended up giving her this show. It's Complicated. And it was scheduled to come on Thursday nights, which is like a great prime time slot, okay? Because Thursday nights, people is watching TV, okay? And so she had that slot. Well, apparently she had fallen out with some of the people at the Food Network. We still don't know exactly what happened there. But they ended up moving her show to Tuesday afternoons, okay? Which, I mean, she still has her show, she's still there, but that is not going to get the views that a Thursday evening, a Thursday night show, prime time, would get, okay? So it kind of felt like it was a punishment. They couldn't get rid of the show because I'm assuming that there's contracts out there and they are locked in. They've filmed this season or whatever, and they can't just get rid of it. But they moved her over to like a time where, in this day and age, it doesn't really matter as much as it used to, because most people, I mean, not most, but a lot of people record the shows to watch at a different time or watch it streaming, at another time. So she still can get watched, it's just not going to be at the convenient time of Thursday nights. Well, like I said, we don't know because Food Network hasn't really said anything on their end. However, Tabitha Brown did come out and say, let me just tell it to the people who did not hear me in the back, okay? I am not ever going to change. This is the person that you met, and this is the person that will continue to be. I'm paraphrasing, but she basically said that she's not going to change the way that she looks. She's not going to change the way that she talks. She's not going to change anything. If it doesn't feel authentic to her, if she feels like you trying to do too much, and if it just ain't working, it ain't working. But she is not going to bend to anybody just to have a show or just to be anything, okay? That she's got to stay true to herself. And you can only admire people like that, because you hear about people once they get into Hollywood, that, people get to doing all kind of shit that is not in their character. And years later, we hear about them being upset with themselves or with other people because they don't even know who they are anymore, And I think it's great that she's decided to stay true to herself. I mean, she's older. So when you start getting to our ages and shit, you just realize that I just can't be bending backwards and doing all this shit for you, and then I go home and be miserable. Okay, because I tell you all the time, when you get to motherfucking my age, nigga, we just want some peace. That got to be peace everywhere. Work, home, friends, family, all that needs to work together, right? So, you all right, Blue? I appreciate and I admire that she is not trying to make herself any different than what she is, okay? This is what the people like and love about Tabitha Brown. And, people would definitely notice if she was changing for the show, So it is what it is. I mean, even if this situation doesn't work with Food Network, I mean, she has such a big following that she is still going to be fine. Like I said, she has her line at Target. I think she's had a few different lines now with Target. And, I mean, you can't help but admire people like that. Stand your ground. You might lose some money in the short run, but in the long run, I think that most people like when you are genuine and true to yourself and don't change, child. And it's hard. Like, so many things happen. I can just tell you from my standpoint, so many things happen and shift in the YouTube world. And, sometimes I'll have a talk with myself and be like, Roxanne, now you still doing the same. But you know what? It works for me. And it works for my family of rock stars that come. I done got to the age where it's not all about having trillions and trillions of followers. It's about having some consistent people that are always going to be supportive and that I can count on, and that it makes my life, I don't need it to be too difficult. I don't need to always have a camera in my face. You guys know when I'm going to post some shit, you come. We have a good time. Everybody knows me, who come here. Because you guys, I have a good, loyal bunch. And I'm fine with that. It's nothing wrong with wanting to have millions and thousands and followers and that your life is that. But I'm just old. See, most of the other YouTubers, they young. They still getting their families started. They still in their 20s and their 30s and all of that. Roxanne is 50, gonna be 52. I'm ready for grandkids. I'm ready to retire. It's just a different scene for me, So I think that that's also what Tabitha's like. I'm not changing shit. This is what works. I'm too fucking old to be going through all these goddamn changes. Y'all know what it is. I told you what it is. My people know what it is. And they will know if I'm turning myself inside out for y'all. So I just like that. I love that about her. And she was just like, basically, I don't give a fuck. Okay. So have y'all seen the show? It's contemplated. Is it a competition show? I'm gonna have to check it out. I don't really watch the Food Network too much. The only thing I watch is when we go out of town. It's always diners, drive-ins, and dives. I was like, if we don't watch that, we watch a Shark Tank, me and Mr. Them are out of town shows that we always watch in the hotel. Anyway, you guys, y'all let me know what you think about that. Gotta love Tabitha Brown. Okay, you guys. So Meghan Markle. She's been all over everything lately. You guys know that she has her podcast on, on Spotify. Remember, it was the big deal. That was one of the reasons why I think Joe Budden was leaving whatever it was. Don't give me the lying, because I don't fully remember the story. But I remember when they gave her podcast and all of that. And the podcast is doing well. I think it's called this damn iPad just keep on wanting to go off. What's the name of her damn show? Archetypes. I always have a hard time saying that word, but it's on the screen, y'all. That's the name of the show. The show talks about, I think, different labels that are given to people and discussing those labels and whatnots. Okay. She had Mariah Carey on her show recently, and they were discussing the word diva. All right. And along the conversation, they started talking about being mixed race. You guys know that Mariah Carey is mixed race, and so is Meghan Markle. And she said some pretty interesting things in that conversation. She said that up until she got married to the Prince Harry, that she never was treated as a black person. She was treated as a mixed person. And until she got married, that's when she realized that black women, I guess, were treated totally different than a mixed race woman. Okay. And Mariah Carey did co-sign on some of the things that she's saying. You guys remember when Mariah Carey first hit the scene, we didn't know what to call Mariah. They was telling us at first that she was black, but you looked at her, she didn't look black. She didn't get marketed as a black person. And so at some point, I think most people even kind of forgot that Mariah Carey was supposed to be black. Even me, I mean, I've always known at the back of my mind that she was black or mixed. To me, when you're mixed, you're black, but people, we've gotten in debates on here plenty of times about, no, black people are black and mixed people are mixed. So it's fine, whatever you want to call yourself. But, I wasn't really even clear that Mariah had lived her life really as a black child until I read her book. Like, when you read her book, she grew up with black folks. Yeah, her mom was white, but everything around her was pretty much black, okay? Until she got to the point where they were marketing her because of her voice and wanted to make her more, appealable to the masses. Then they just they told her she was black, and then they just left it vague. So it was just sort of like, we ain't gonna remind you. If you don't remember, we ain't gonna say nothing. Now, Meghan Markle, I think, is a little different. Meghan Markle, before she got involved with Prince Harry and all that, I had absolutely no idea that this woman was black. I ain't had no idea that the woman was mixed or black, okay? She was on whatever that show that she was on that I didn't watch, but she used to also do Hallmark movies. And in the Hallmark movies, child, you could have never told me that this girl was black or had any black in her, okay? I'm not saying that she was denying the black in her, but she definitely was passing and definitely used that to her benefit, okay? If somebody asked her, is your mom black or something like that, I don't think that she would have lied and be like, no, of course not. My mom's not black. Like, who told you that? I don't think that she would have been that way, but I think that mums was the motherfucking word, and we ain't really going around telling everybody that we mixed and whatever either, So when she said I was treated as a mixed person, I was like, no, girl, you was treated as a white woman. Okay, let's just keep it 100. You was treated as a white woman. And then when all the business started coming out and your daddy was out there running his mouth and all of that, then we finally saw your beautiful black mother, okay? And it was nothing that you could keep under wraps anymore. So now everybody knows you got this black girl, this, half black, half white woman trying to marry the prince, and you about to taint the royal bloodline by bringing this black person in. Yeah, now it's you gonna get treated different. Okay, but you guys see what I'm saying? It's like when I was listening to it and that, y'all know I like Meghan. I like Prince Harry. Like, I think that the union is beautiful and the kids and all of that. But when we keep it 100, is girl, you was passing, you was getting away with it until it finally had to get reminded. Because they don't give a fuck how light your skin is. It comes down to the blood. What is in that bloodline? All right? If they know that you got some let me not say it. Let me keep it cute. If they know that you got some black in you, then damn it, to them you black. And now you changing up the line. Okay? And now we gonna treat you differently. All right? Or now we gonna make sure that, you are being aware that you are being treated as a black person. So I just was listening to it and I was just like, okay. I mean, all right, Meghan. And I'm just say okay, but no, I do believe that she was passing and she definitely used it to her advantage. Okay. It's funny because now I think that she looks more black now than she did when she was on the Hallmark movies and everything. She still don't look black, but like now I can see I can see it in her. So it's weird how that happens, but no, girl, you was passing. And people be passing all the time. Like Mr. from Louisiana, family out there. I remember meeting some of the family, and honey, when I tell you blonde hair, blue eyes, okay, completely looks white. Even my mother-in-law, on some days, you wouldn't know that she was black, But, so, I mean, I get it. People pass all the time until she opens her mouth. My mother-in-law's mouth is definitely... but I'm just saying that, but we can get into a whole discussion on passing and all of that. But yeah, I think that people have used that to their advantage, and Meghan is no different than anybody else. What was interesting in that conversation also is when Mariah called her a diva. Now, I told you guys plenty of times that I don't like the term diva. Diva to me has a negative connotation to it. All right. Diva to me sounds like a woman who has tantrums if she doesn't have her way. Shit has to be a certain way. That can be a bitch, can just kind of be putting on airs. Like diva to me has a negative connotation to it, but I know it doesn't for everybody because I watch people that call each other divas. One of my favorite vloggers, Miss Diva, people use it and it's not negative. But when Mariah Carey called her a diva, Mariah Carey, I think, wasn't thinking of it in a negative connotation. Mariah Carey wasn't thinking of it in a negative connotation, okay? But had just said that Meghan had some diva-like ways. And Meghan actually got a little offended by that, okay? Like, how do I show myself as a diva? Well, I think they finally came to the realization that, she meant it like the way that you present yourself, the way that you are fashionable, the way that, all of the good things that come with being a diva, being sharp and kind of having that attitude like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to come out here and I'm going to be looking good and I'm going to be with my man and I'm going to, and I'm going to be strong and, in that way of being a diva. But child, she didn't like being called no diva. And, but, she had to get over it. So I guess that's what the premise of the show is. It's talking about labels and, how you react to the label and, whether or not that label fits to you or whatever. I haven't listened to the podcast. I only listened to a couple of podcasts. Maybe we'll check out Meghan's thing, see what sis is talking about over there. What y'all thought about that whole conversation, though? It was interesting, Y'all saw when Don Lemon said that she's used the privilege of her light skin. I was like, absolutely she used the privilege, that, and people are so dumbfounded, but I'm just like, well, Yes. You know, the lighter that you are, the more... Uh-oh. Why are you growling? You know, the lighter that you are, you know, I don't want to be offending people because we get into these light skin versus dark skin and things. And I never even thought about those things until I started doing YouTube. Like, I just felt like if you was black, you was black. And, you know, I didn't really care about skin tones. Now it's become so much, you know. So anyway, y'all let me know what you thought about that conversation between Miss Meghan and Miss Mariah.